In today's video, I'm going to go over one thing I hate about each zombies map. Let's get into it straight away. Noctur on Toten. The zombies take way too long to spawn in on Noctur on Toten. I feel like my age just withers away whilst watching them come into the barriers. Verrucht. Verrucht is way too tight and there's nowhere to train. And for me, I get quite claustrophobic, and for some reason, I can also get claustrophobic in games, so my brain just doesn't let me play this map as frequently. Shino Numa. Shino Numa is way too forgetful. It needed a cooler wonder weapon or maybe a different cool space, or what it really needed is a Pack-a-Punch machine, but it was just one map too early. Darius. For me, Darius is a very solid map, but I would have loved to see a boss zombie. Yeah, I know it was very early to get a boss zombie as we only got 1 in 5. If it got a big soldier-like zombie in the map, it would have been amazing. Kino de Toten. For me, Kino de Toten is a very solid map. It could probably be one of my favorite Call of Duty Zombies maps. I would have loved to see a brand new perk. It would have been really nice to see that launched with Black Ops 1. Yeah, I know Kino wasn't supposed to be in Black Ops 1, but I still would have liked to see one. 5. For me, 5 is a hit or miss, but I really would have loved to see a weapon that actually just doesn't tickle the zombies. The Winter Tower is a very cool concept, but if you really just think about it, it's a bitch-made version of the Ice Staff. And for a tight map like 5, a weapon that freezes the zombies in place just isn't a good idea. Ascension. We all have one thing that we hate in Ascension, and it's those goddamn pesky perk-stealing monkeys. They are complete and utter dicks. Call of the Dead. I really like the George Romero boss, but once you've killed him, the fact that he comes back the next round is very annoying and it's not as rewarding to kill him. It takes a very long time to kill George and a lot of effort, and the fact that he just spawns in next round is a bit annoying to me. I think once you've killed him, that's cool. You can get your Wonder Wolf or your Death Machine and you can get your perk, but then he shouldn't come back to another 5 rounds or so. Shangri-La. Now, I really don't like Shangri-La. Please don't hate me if there's any Shangri-La lovers out there, but I would have really liked to see a nice training spot. I really don't like narrow style zombies maps, and that is just because I'm very bad and can't play zombies well. But really, when thinking about bad things about this map, that is really one of the only things I could think of. Moon. For me, it's a rather popular hate, and it's having to go to Area 51 for only a 50% chance that you can get Juggernog. This can make the game very annoying and challenging once you've gone down, and that's the only thing I'd really change about Moon. Transit. Okay, I feel like Transit has had enough hate in its life cycle, but I couldn't pick one thing, so I'm going to go over a few things that I hate about Transit. Number 1 is the Denizens. They're annoying. I hate them. Obviously, the fog. Everyone hates the fog. And the stupid Pack-a-Punch quest. Also, the most annoying boss ever, the Avogadro. Nuketown. For me, Nuketown is a very good, nice, fun, and chill map to play. But I'd have to say the perk spawning in at random times is very annoying. You might get Pack-a-Punch first, but then you might get Juggernog last. And by last, I mean you might get Juggernog by round 25, and that is awful. Die Rise. Okay, Die Rise is the map that I hate the most, but I'm gonna have to say the map itself is just awful. I couldn't pick one thing, it's just the whole map. Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead is almost perfect, but apart from one little thing, and that's collecting the gas canisters after you've built the plane and you've come back to Alcatraz. Having to go around the map and pick up those gas canisters is very annoying, and I think you should just be able to go straight back on the plane every time. Buried. I hate that the fact that the witches take your money in Buried. You're on the way to Pack-a-Punch, you mess up once, and you've lost all your points to Pack-a-Punch. Origins. Personally, I've sort of really thought about my Origins like and dislike, and I actually don't like Origins all that much. But if I had to pick one thing throughout the game, it's that the Templar zombies take the generators. It's very annoying and it stops the flow of the game. Shadows of Evil. I love Shadows of Evil so much, but the fact that the Easter egg requires 4 players, it just really annoys me. And honestly, I wouldn't really change anything other than the fact that I can't do the Easter egg. The Giant. For me, the Giant needed something just a little bit extra, as it was only a remaster of Darius, but it was its own new map as well. Had a different storyline and stuff like that, so I think I would have loved to see maybe a new wonder weapon or a main fully fledged Easter egg. The Rising Track. For me, I would have loved to see a better and cooler looking boss, and just not a copy of the Panzer Soldat. Zetsubo no Shima. The setup on this map is way too long and tedious, and most of the steps to getting power, Pack-a-Punch, and just other things you need to set yourself up with is also just things you need to do to complete the Easter egg, so I just think it's a bit long, annoying, and tedious, and they should have just made it a little bit more simpler. Gorod Krovi. This map is honestly my favorite map, and trying to find something I don't like about it is kind of annoying, but it's a bit of a simple thing. I just wanted more of a bigger training space, as most of these maps that I talk about, they're tight and annoying, and I just don't like that style of gameplay, so I would have loved to see maybe a more and cool place to train. Revelations. For me, Revelations just needed to be on such a greater scale. For me, the whole map was a huge letdown, and considering it was supposed to end up and wrap the whole of Black Ops 3 up, it just didn't do a really great job of doing that for me. Voyage of Despair. Voyage probably has one of the worst map layouts for me. It being vertical just doesn't work out very well. We saw that in Die Rise, and now they've brought it onto this, and it just didn't work well. Yes, granted, you can't do much with the Titanic. It's a real life thing. It's not like they could make it really wide or whatever, whatever. But that's just something that I don't like about this map. Also for me, when the trailer came out, and I'm sure a lot of other people, they thought it was going to be a really cool, fun, and exciting map. I mean, you can already see when you put the Titanic and zombies together, it will be something very, very cool. But the map was just very underwhelming. IX. One thing that really annoys me in IX is that you didn't get to use gladiator-style weapons, whether that would have been melee weapons or whatever. Considering you're in a gladiator arena and you're using futuristic BO4 weapons, I just didn't like that. Blood of the Dead. Now, Blood of the Dead was a disrespectful remake on Mob of the Dead, and that's why I hate it. There's nothing else to be said, really. Classified. Pretty much it's the same as 5, but I would have liked to see a cooler wonder weapon. The Winter's Howl just is really ineffective on this map. Dead of the Night. For some reason, Dead of the Night just didn't get any promotion whatsoever, had no hype building around it, and I feel like if they did do some hype around it, it would have done really well. Ancient Evil. I really hated the skeletons on Ancient Evil. They spawned in way too often, and they just got really annoying. Alpha Omega. I really enjoyed Alpha Omega. It was probably one of my favorite maps in Black Ops 4, but I really hated the teleporting crawlers. I don't like the Nova 6 crawlers as it is, and the fact that they can teleport is way too annoying. Tag the Totem. Considering this map was the last map to end a huge several-year story, it was very underwhelming and even more than Revelations to me. And don't forget, it was a remaster of Call of the Dead and did that map brutally wrong. D-Machine. I know it got added not too long ago, but for the game's life cycle, you couldn't actually pack-a-punch the wonder weapon. And for me, it just felt a little bit weak. Yes, I know you could do elemental versions to this wonder weapon, but I feel like they were still too weak. And the fact that you now can triple pack-a-punch, it does make it a lot better, but as I said, when the game was popular and people were still playing it, you couldn't upgrade it. Firebase C. For me, Firebase C was a bit of a weird map. The attack rounds were a cool and new innovative idea to the game, but I think they were just a bit too annoying. But I did really enjoy the round 30 attack with the big boss zombie. The ones in between where you're just killing normal zombies though is a bit annoying. Mauer der Toten. I would have really liked to see a cooler boss zombie again on this. Most of these maps now I'm realizing it are just copies and pastes of the same boss zombie. Forsaken. I really like the map Forsaken, but I think they could have done so much more with the arcade. There was only like 3 games you could have played. They should have done something like Zombies in Spaceland where every game was playable, and maybe added some more enemies as well. I would have liked to see a lot more variations of bosses. And that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a sort of a new concept I'm doing on the channel. If you want to see me do this on any other sort of concept, then put it in the comment section below and I'm sure I'll give it a go. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.